All right, let's dive into a really fascinating legal puzzle from India. Picture this. You've got two families, both following Hindu tradition. In one family, a son owns a piece of the family estate from the second he's born. But in the other, he owns absolutely nothing until his father passes away. So how on earth is that possible under the same legal system? Well, the answer is all about two ancient schools of thought, Mitakshara and Dayabhaga. Let's break it all down. It really is a head-scratcher, isn't it? How can one single legal tradition lead to two totally different outcomes for who owns the family property? You'd think, right, that maybe different laws were passed in different parts of the country. But nope. The real reason is much, much older, and it has everything to do with a couple of brilliant legal scholars and how they interpreted ancient texts. So, the secret here isn't in separate laws from a government, but in these ancient commentaries. Think of it like this. The original sacred texts, the Smritis, they were the foundation. But centuries ago, these incredibly influential jurists wrote their own interpretations, kind of like expert legal opinions on the originals. And these commentaries became so powerful, so widely followed, that they basically evolved into two distinct legal customs that are still with us today. And here they are, the two masterminds behind it all. On one side, you have Vijnaneshwara, who gave us the commentary called the Mitakshara, and on the other, you've got Jimutavahana, who wrote the Dayabhaga. Now, the names might be a bit of a mouthful, I get it, but these two texts are basically the blueprints, the source code, for the two completely different systems of inheritance we're talking about. Okay, so we know who wrote the rules. Now let's talk about where these rules actually apply. Because one of the easiest ways to get a handle on the difference is to just look at a map, because geographically, their influence is incredibly different. And I mean, the difference is just staggering. Just look at this. The Mitakshara school is the dominant system pretty much everywhere across India. But the Dayabhaga school, while it's just as important legally, is really concentrated in one area, mainly Bengal and Assam. It's a classic case of a majority rule versus a powerful but very regional tradition. Geography's one piece of the puzzle, for sure. But the real core difference, the one that really changes everything for a family, it's all about timing. It all comes down to one simple but profound question. When do you actually get your inheritance? Under the Mitakshara school, the answer is the moment you are born. That's right. A son is born a co-owner, what's called a coparsoner in the family property. And that right there changes everything. It means his father isn't the sole owner. He's more like a managing partner, and he can't just sell or get rid of the family property without getting his sons to agree. So here's a really simple way to remember this one. Think of the Mitakshara system as a kind of family trust fund. The second you're born, bam, you're automatically a beneficiary. You have a real legal stake in that property from day one, just like your dad and your granddad. Okay, now let's completely flip the script and look at the Dayabhaga school. It has a totally different answer. Here, a son has, get this, absolutely zero right to the family property while his father is alive. The father is the sole absolute owner. He has total control. He can manage it, sell it, gift it, whatever he wants. No permission needed. The son's right only kicks in at the exact moment of his father's death. And the analogy for Dayabhaga is just as easy to remember. Think of it like a classic last will and testament. You might be expecting an inheritance, sure, but you have no legal right, no claim to any of that property until after the person has passed away. Your inheritance is just a possibility, not a reality. All right, we've covered the history, the geography, and those all-important core principles. So let's pull all these threads together and put everything side by side in a final breakdown to make sure it all really clicks. Okay, this table just lays it all out, nice and clear. For Mitakshara, the magic word is birth. The father is a co-owner, just like in that trust fund analogy. For Dayabhaga, the magic word is death. The father is the absolute owner, like someone writing a will. And that single difference in timing, it just changes the entire power structure and financial reality for a family. So what are the big things to walk away with here? First, remember, this isn't about two different laws. It's about two different interpretations of the same foundation. Mitakshara means you get rights by birth, and it's pretty much everywhere. Dayabhaga means you get rights after death, and it's regional. The bottom line? In India, your geography can literally define your inheritance. And all of this leads us to one last really crucial question.
In our 21st century world of startups and global finance, how do these ancient legal codes still play a role in property disputes, in shaping family dynamics, and in controlling how wealth moves through generations in modern India today?